Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been so long, but I'm back. I decided to do a full-length video showcasing how I make this mini monthly calendar, and I'm doing it for March. And if you've been following me on my Instagram, you would have seen my sort of 1-minute fast-forwarded clips, and I get a lot of questions on what materials am I using, how am I doing certain steps, and I decided to just break it all down in a video today. So I guess let's get started with the materials that I used. So for the paper, which is one of the most common questions that I get, I'm using watercolor paper. And for this specific calendar, I decided to go with a new paper for myself. I haven't used these before, but the Arches watercolor paper, and it's a cold pressed one. And basically what I do, this sheet is huge. It's like 10 by 14 inches, and my mini monthly calendar, or the calendars in general, are just a few inches large. So this one specifically, I just cut a 2.5 by 4 inch sheet, and you can make a ton of them. So I got this at Michael's. If you guys are interested, you can always use a coupon with them to pick that up. But yeah, so I cut out a one just because we're going to make it together today, 2.5 by 4 inches. And how I start is I always tape the paper that I'm going to be using down, because if you've seen me, I use tape on top and I peel it away. But when I am stenciling or drawing on top, I don't want my art to shift. So I always use a piece of paper or a piece of tape or two, just like this. And I'm just going to take two. This is just standard Scotch tape. Well, it says magic tape, but you know, normal Scotch tape. And I'm just going to stick that down just like that. Perfect. And the next thing that I do is I need some washi tape, and I just picked this up from Amazon. I'll link things down below as well, or to my Amazon storefront page where I can just like tag the specific ones that I used in this video. And I like this because it's the perfect size. I made one of my stencils to fit this specific washi tape perfectly, so you can easily make banners that correspond with this tape size, and it's just the perfect fit. And these, as you guys know from my Etsy shop, it's the Hobonichi stencil set bundle number 1. But anyway, this washi tape is great because not only is it the perfect size, but it kind of goes onto paper nicely, and it doesn't really rip either. So that's been really, really nice. So the first thing I do is I want to outline kind of the box. So we're sort of creating this outer portion of the calendar, and this one, I guess I made a little bit smaller. There we go. So I'm just going to tape that down like that. And as best as you can, you want to make it as straight as possible. I mean, if it's not perfect, it's okay. It's for your own bullet journal or wall art, whatever you're trying to do this for. But as best as you can, I wouldn't like freak out if it's not perfect. One thing you do want to make sure is that the tape is kind of pushed down in the middle, because I've definitely filmed where I was painting and paint was kind of seeping in under the tape, so then when you peel your tape, you don't get this perfect line. So that's pretty important. So washi tape, I'll put the tape here. It's kind of things that we've used so far. The next thing that I'll use, this is an important step. If you want to create this banner here, you have to put this extra piece of washi tape down. I don't know where I put it, but I filmed earlier and I forgot to do this step. So you basically don't have this nice white portion to do your banner. And wherever you put this is where the banner is going to lie. So I'm just going to put it up top since we're recreating the one I did earlier today. Just like that. And that's basically the framework for the start of this. All right, so the next thing you'll want is, and another question I get asked a lot is, what marker am I using? And I have been really enjoying these Karen brush markers Pro. They were sent to me from Karen, and I have been using them in almost every video. You can either directly color onto the paper itself and then use like a water pen and like brush it out. But for this specific piece, I am going to use an acrylic block. You could probably do this on like a plastic sheet or something along those lines too, but I like this acrylic block, and all I do is I'm just going to color on here the colors that I want to use. And for this piece, I used that one here, this one. This is Cool Aqua. I guess I could tell you guys the colors if you have the set. Turquoise is the first one, Cool Aqua, and the third color I used is gold. So I'm just gonna do that. And then I took this water brush pen, which I've had forever. You can buy these on Amazon. I think this is from Amazon actually. But all I do is I don't wet the paper or anything beforehand. I pretty much just like squeeze a little bit of water. So this brush holds some water in the tip here. And I'll just kind of mix this around and then start. You might have to dispense a little bit of water here. Yep, there you go. So one thing you want to make sure you're doing is not going past your borders, like out here. I've done that as well. And then if you have too much water on one area, you can kind of use a paper towel to bring that, to take that off a little. So I'm just gonna spread this around here. I don't have any real method in terms of how I paint this on, but I'm gonna let that kind of dry a little, and I think I want kind of like a darker sky up here, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more of another color here, which is some sky blue, and I'll mix that with this turquoise color, and I'll just go back in here with this and bring it down. So if you want to keep the dark kind of spots on the top, then you'll just sort of bring it down slowly and lift your brush. And you can wait and let it dry, which is typically what I usually do. But what I might do today is, this is actually for wet embossing, or that's what I bought it for from Paper Source. They have this on Amazon as well, or Michael's. But what I'm going to do is use this to kind of dry my piece off really quick. So I might do that right now. All right, so that step is totally optional, but I just did it to kind of speed up the process here. And so we're pretty much done with this block, so I'm going to move this aside. It's just a clear acrylic block used for kind of like clear stamping. This got blown away. All right, so now the fun part is peeling your tape. So even though this tape comes off pretty nicely, you still want to be careful in how you peel it off. So you typically want to start with the last piece of tape that you placed on there. Sort of pull that away. This part is quite satisfying in my opinion, because you can see these nice clean lines that you created. And I'm just going to pull down here like that. And then let's see, let's take out this top one. And then, all right. So in the beginning, if you guys have been watching so far, you'll know that I taped this down. It doesn't shift around, which is really important for this next step. So the pens that I love to use are these Pigma Micron pens, and the numbers that I typically stick to are the 01 and the 03. For most of this, I'll probably use an 03 today, but I'll keep the 01 on hand. And I'm going to pull out my stencils here. So this is from the first Hobonichi set. This bookshelf one here was perfectly sized for that washi tape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually, instead of bringing it right up to the edge of the painting, I'm going to shift it further to the side, which would give us a nice overhanging banner here. So using my 030 pen, just going to go a little bit over on both sides, just like that. Close off the rectangle here. Perfect. Then I'm going to take, you can even use these side ones here, but I'm going to use the top straight banner today, just because I think I'm recreating that exact stencil, so we're not going to deviate too much. And just like that, perfect. And then to close off the banner, you just make a triangle here, but you don't do that line, you just kind of like do the shadows. Same thing, we're going to close the triangle, do some shadowing, perfect. So we're looking great. And then I can put the stencils aside because that's the last time we'll use them for this part. So now I'm going to do some lettering in here, and let me kind of zoom in a little bit for this part here. All right, hopefully. All right, we're gonna do some lettering. So I'm just gonna cursive out March here. Still using the 030 pen. Just taking my time with the letters. Bringing out the tail, perfect. And then I'm going to do the days of the week. Just the letter in cursive. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And March starts on Sunday and we have 31 days. So I'm just gonna write out the numbers now. So I also have been getting some questions about this nail sticker that I've been using, and it's by a company called Mani Me, and they have these stick-on kind of like gel polish, which stays for about 10 to 12 or 14 days. And so far I think I'm on day 5 or 6, and it's been going great. Let's see, 19. Just don't want to mess up the numbers while talking, so I'm just going to finish this up too. 24, 25, 26, 7, 28, 29, 31. Yeah, but the cool thing about this specific company is, I've tried a few, is they're custom fit to your nails. So you actually take a picture of your hand and you send it off to them, and then you pick out the design that you want, and they kind of like make sure it fits perfectly to your cuticles, so you don't have to do almost any adjustments aside from taking off the length, which I thought was really, really cool. And this is my first time using them so far. It's been sticking really nicely, and like I said, I'm on day 5 or 6, and sorry, my cuticles are really dry just from work. But yeah, the stickers themselves have been lasting great, so I'll let you guys know. But they sent me this pair to test out, and I've been loving it. I think I have a $5 coupon code I'll add into the description box if you guys are interested. But anyway, getting back to this, I want to do these dandelions here. So the cool thing here that I did was I started it off of the page. It kind of gives it a little bit of depth. So we're going to start our dandelion off the page. So I'm going to do a line kind of down here, and I think I did another one like this, and I had one kind of crossing over. So for the dandelion here, first you want to start out by just kind of like flicking your brush or your pen all over in kind of like a spiral clock, and it's kind of nice if you go off the colored portion of the page. I'm going to do that here too. You can actually do a little circle in the middle to kind of show like the center of it. But yeah, going off the watercolor portion of the page gives, I think, your drawing, your whole like calendar, a little bit more depth. So I don't mind that at all. I actually prefer it if I can get the dandelions that long, but this one's not going to reach that far, so that's okay. So you just kind of go around. And the next part, I know it's pretty zoomed in, so I'm going to just like on a piece of paper, if I have one, oh here, show you guys what I'm doing. So we've got the center and we're just kind of going like this, right? So we zoom into one. What we're going to do next is you're going to kind of spiral it out. So each one from this dandelion here is going to spiral out like this. So you're just going to do mini ones like that. All right, so that's what we're gonna do here. Each little one is gonna get a little top. So it's super small, and actually what you can do is switch over. If you have an 01, you can use that instead. You don't have to though, this is kind of an optional part, but it might make it easier to do the tips of the dandelion here. But yeah, I do a lot of these videos on my Instagram. If you found me via YouTube, you can find me on Instagram at BeautyByStarlet, although those are more of 1-minute clips and I don't really talk through, so that's why I decided to test this out and see if you guys would even watch this. But I get a lot of questions on those videos on what am I using, how did I do different steps, and I try and answer as much as I can, but then I figured maybe this would be the best way for people to follow along and kind of use the same materials. And I don't always use the same things, but lately I feel like I found like a system that works well, so that's what I've been doing. All right, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna actually darken the center and bring down, sorry, my son is downstairs playing, so you might hear some noise. All right, and what you can do is make it look like there's some wind blowing, so you can have like some of them kind of floating through the air and just kind of like flying off into the distance. And you can do these however you want, but I think it's kind of cool if it like flies off the page. And then to sort of ground this, I decided to add some like fake grass. And there you have it. That's it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you want to see more of these kinds, thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments down below. If you want me to recreate ones that I did in the past, just check out my Instagram and let me know, and maybe I'll make more of these like step-by-step videos. All right, thank you so much. Talk to you guys next time.